Hello everyone and welcome to the first video of this channel. So today the new Rise of the Tomb Raider got released and I thought, hey, let's have a look how it runs on PC. I played the first one, I loved it, so I'm really excited to see how the new one is. I played like 90 minutes and so I got a good intro to the game, but let's have a closer look first. The first thing I ever do is go to the options menu and check out all those sweet graphics settings. So we will head up over to display. We can see we have all the usual stuff, so we can select which monitor, resolution, refresh rate. For anti-aliasing we got FXAA, which in my opinion is just horrible, and we got SMAA, which is like the best form but also the most heavy on your system. The exclusive full screen setting gives me a little bit of trouble because every time I want to tap out the game it crashes and I have to use the task manager to close it. I don't know if it's only my problem or something to do with my Windows or some settings, I don't know. At first it wasn't there, but then it crashed and now it's always like that, so I don't know. So you can see I have a 980ti and for a CPU I have a 4790K, overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz, and yeah, that's my system. I also got 16 gigabytes of RAM and the game is played from an SSD. I also will test this on my laptop, which has 960M in it and an i5 quad core. So, okay, no, have not been applied. You want to discharge? Yes. Okay, so head over to the graphics settings. For texture quality, very high. It's not really that taxing. So we have anisotropic 60, not very taxing. Shadow quality, very high. Only recommended for high-end GPUs. So 6 gigs of VRAM recommended. Otherwise, you can go to high. Not big of a deal in my opinion. Sun soft shadows are nice, not that taxing. Ambient occlusion, HBO plus, really taxing. Looks nice, but if you really struggle to get the performance, just flex on. Depth of field, rubbish in my opinion, so off. Level of detail, very high. Tessellation on, really gives a nice textured feel to all the objects in the game. Screen space protection, dynamic foliage high, bloom. All this I got off. I think these are not really great. I love the pure hair, but it's really taxing on the system in scenes where you really get close-ups of Lara. My FPS tank like crazy. I have a G-Sync monitor, so that's not of a problem, but they drop like from 100 to 60 in an instant. Lens flares also off, and screen effects on. So with these settings in the first 90 minutes it really barely dropped below 60 FPS, only in close-ups where the hair really got, the pure hair really got used. If you struggle with your FPS, the best settings to lower are shadow quality, ambient occlusion, tessellation, and the dynamic foliage, in my opinion, and of course the pure hair from even to on or off. If you're playing the game, if you're really into the games, then you don't really notice them anyway. And if you're someone who plays with motion blur and is sprinting the whole game, then most of these things really don't matter to you. Okay, then let's have a look. Continue from here. At first I will show you a scene which is not really that taxing, so I get a good FPS, and after that I will test this also on my laptop, see if the 960M can handle this game even on the lowest settings. And yeah, so now I have like 47 FPS, which is because of fraps. And now we have 70. Okay, that's really strange behavior here. I don't know why, but hey, okay. Usually I have like 70 or even 80 in this area, which is not that graphic intensive. Also while recording I really get a hit in performance here. Yeah, this game is, also until now, it was really playable with my 980 Ti. I have the MSI overclocked one. I overclocked it even further to 1.5 gigahertz. So really pushing the limit of that card here, and yeah. So let's now switch over to my laptop, to the same scene, and have a look if it can handle it. Now we're on my Lenovo laptop. I just realized that you guys couldn't see my FPS counter because it was through Nvidia Experience, and yeah, you couldn't see it. So now I enabled the Steam one so you can actually see what I'm talking about. On this options menu, you can see that I'm running 1080p, 60 Hz, exclusive full screen, and this time no crashing. So it's obviously something with my Windows I need to figure out, or I don't. Depends. Reason really doesn't bother me that much, to be honest. In the graphics settings, I got it to the lowest possible. Everything off and low. And now we load the same scene and have a look if it can run it on the lowest settings possible. The 960M is supposed to be as strong as the desktop 750 Ti, so I'm really curious because the 750 Ti is a really nifty card and can run games like GTA 5 or Fallout 4 on console settings. And for all the people out there who have that graphics card, I hope that they can play this game. So in the same scene we have 37 FPS, which is playable. Yeah, it's playable. It's playable. Doesn't look that bad, and you could play it. Now, the interesting part is how a heavier scene is faring on this GPU, because this scene isn't that taxing. So if in the next scene we have horrible FPS, then I would say it isn't definitely playable. So let's check out the next scene and hope for the best. Okay guys, I gotta tell you, I'm impressed. I thought that in a kind of more open scenario the 960M would crumble, but now here I am playing with a mix of medium and low settings and just fine. I played a bit and it never really dropped down to 30. I couldn't test it with 30 FPS VSync because somehow my screen in my notebook isn't capable than any other than 60 FPS. So half VSync doesn't work here. So yeah, totally playable even with a low-end GPU. Doesn't look too shabby in my opinion. So let's skip back to some gameplay from my main rig and I'll tell you about my conclusion. Okay guys, it's conclusion time. So this game delivers on my 960M with low to medium settings, VSync lock. You could VSync lock at the 30 FPS. I couldn't test it because my laptop can't do it. The display is just 60 FPS. I can't lock it to 30 FPS VSync, but it was alright. Low to medium settings, no problem. If you have a 980 Ti and you want to max out this game at 1440p, you have to overclock it a lot. And I mean like 1.5 gigahertz, nothing below that. Because my game drops to 43 frames per second sometimes, and on a G-Sync monitor that's not a big of a problem. But if you want those VSync lock 60 FPS, then you have to overclock that beast or lower a bit of your settings like ambient occlusion, HBR plus or true hair. And that's not that big of a deal. If you're immersed in the game, you won't notice it anyway. Another thing, the menus are a bit wonky at times, and also I don't like that if the game transitions to cutscenes, the cutscenes are 30 FPS. It just looks horrible. The transition from 60 FPS to 30 FPS, I think it's horrible. Another thing, all those overused features, lens flares, motion blur, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. It's not that great. All in all, I gotta say, I give this PC port a thumbs up. Just remember the most important thing: if you have a 980 Ti, if you have a 970, you think you have the beast of a system, you have to overclock it. Because the only other option would be SLI at this point, and I read that SLI is not really functioning. I couldn't test it, but a lot of people are saying that SLI isn't really working, so either overclock, tone down the settings a bit, and you can really enjoy a really damn fine looking game. And a really good PC port. That's a good start for 2016. I'm looking forward to this year. A lot of good games are coming out, and I hope that there are also decent ports like this game. I think this game is amazing. I loved the first one I played. 4 hours until now. It really delivered. And I'm Insanity for AAA, and I see you guys next time.